Welcome to the 900 Horses channel. Today we will compare three of the most famous supercars in the world: Ferrari SF90 Stradale, Lamborghini Aventador SVJ and Porsche 911 Turbo S 992. In the process of comparison, we will count the points for each car and at the end we will see which car wins. Let's start with the years of production. The Ferrari SF90 Stradale has been in production since 2019. The Aventador SVJ started production in 2018 and ended in 2022. The Turbo S 992 came out in 2021 and is still in production today. The newest and most relevant is the Porsche 911. We will count 15 points for it, Ferrari 10 points and Aventador 5 points because it has already ceased its production and is old relative to these cars. Let's now look at the entire line of models. The SF90 is the only model in this line and has no history. The Aventador has been around since 2011 and in 12 years Lamborghini has produced more than 5 models. But the Porsche 911 has a real history. The first 911 came out back in 1963. For the legendary Porsche 911 gets 15 points, Aventador 10 and SF90 5. Do you know how many of these supercars will be produced? The SF90 Stradale is planned to be produced in the amount of 499 units. The Aventador SVJ has already been produced in the amount of only 900 cars, and the Turbo S 992 will be limited in 1,250 units in the future. I think there is no advantage here for any car, because on the one hand, the fewer copies, the more unique and rarer the car, but on the other hand, it will be harder to buy and there will also be expensive parts. If you suddenly decided to buy one of these supercars, then let's look at the minimum market prices. The SF90 Stradale will set you back $625,000. For this amount, you can buy a new Rolls-Royce Phantom and BMW M8. The Aventador SVJ is a bit cheaper at $515,000 or 20 new Toyota Prius. And the Turbo S is the cheapest of those supercars at just $230,000. This is the price of a regular Lamborghini Huracan LP610, plus 15 to Turbo S for availability. Let's move on to the dimensions of the cars. The SF90 Stradale is 185.4 inches long, the same length as the Mitsubishi Outlander. The Aventador is slightly longer at 188.2 inches, which is like a 206 Volkswagen Passat. The Turbo S turns out to be the shortest at 178.5 inches, which is the Seat Leon. If we look at the width of these cars, we can see that the Turbo S is really a small car compared to Ferrari and Lamborghini, and I consider this an advantage because the smaller the car, the more practical it is. But let's now compare the heights of the supercars. At 46.7 inches tall, the SF90 is 7 iPhone 14 Pro stacked on top of each other. Aventador SVJ equals 10 Starbucks 350mm cups, that's 44.7 inches, and 911 is 1 iPhone 14 Pro higher than Aventador. Of course, the higher the car, the more convenient and practical it is, but we mustn't forget about the center of gravity and aerodynamics. They are much better on low supercars. Therefore, in this comparison, no one gets points. What about weight? The SF90 weighs 3,526 pounds, about the same as a Volkswagen Touran. The Aventador is noticeably lighter, 3,362 pounds, or a BMW M125i. The Turbo S weighs in at 3,615 pounds, which is the heaviest of these trio of supercars. Let's look at the wheel drive. All three supercars have four-wheel drive, that's what they have in common. We got to the most interesting, the engines. The SF90 Stradale is equipped with a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine that can rev up to 8,000 RPM and is complemented by 3 electric motors. The SVJ has the heart of a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 with a max speed of 8,500 RPM. And the Turbo S has a turbocharged 3.7-liter flat 6 that revs up to 8,750 RPM. Interesting, three supercars with completely different engines. Let's see which one is the most powerful. The SF90 puts out an incredible 986 horsepower thanks to additional electric motors. SVJ is more modest, 740 horsepower, and Turbo S is 641 power. Ferrari obviously wins. It's time to hear how these supercars sound. Obviously, the SVJ has a much louder and more brutal sound, because it's a V12. What cannot be said about Turbo S? Here the sound is the quietest. Power and sound is great, but how do these supercars actually ride? Ferrari accelerates to 60 miles per hour in just 2.2 seconds, Aventador in 2.5 seconds. But Porsche surprises, 2.1 seconds. It's just incredible. Let's look at acceleration from 60 to 124 miles per hour. SF90 is 4.1 seconds, SVJ 5.4, and Turbo S 5.9. Here Ferrari is clearly the fastest. What about from 124 to 186 miles per hour? 10.1, 15.8, and 18.2. Ferrari flies forward again. Let's compare the top speed. The SF90 can go 211 miles per hour, the SVJ 215, and the Turbo S 205. The SVJ is even faster than the SF90 in terms of top speed. Let's take another look at the quarter-mile race. Turbo S takes the lead, but SF90 ends up overtaking everything. But thanks to its quick start from the spot, Porsche managed to finish faster than the Aventador. Let's test the brakes. And here the SF90 wins again, and it has a shorter braking distance. We all know the real supercars are tested on the Nürburgring racetrack. Let's look at the lap times of these cars. Unfortunately, there is no official data on the SF90 yet, but I hope we will see them soon. SVJ completed the lap in 6 minutes and 44 seconds, and Turbo S in 7 and 17. The difference is quite large, so SVJ wins. If suddenly the power and speed of these cars may seem small to you, then tuning comes to the rescue. On the SF90 you can install a custom exhaust system and modified engine software, and add 109 horsepower to your engine. The SVJ has less tuning potential with only 40 horsepower added by upgrading the exhaust system. But the Turbo S has a lot more features: catless downpipes, performance intercooler, performance sport air filter, intake optimization, turbocharger upgrade, and methanol injection. All these can add 359 horsepower. Pretty good tuning potential. Probably many people are wondering how much fuel these supercars consume. The SF90 gets 20 miles per gallon, the Aventador 10 mpg and the Turbo S 17 mpg. The Ferrari SF90 is a hybrid car, which is why it's more economical. Let's take a look inside and compare the main and unique features of these cars. The SF90 has a steering wheel with touchpad, carbon seats, 16-inch digital dashboard, 1 cup holder and 4 driving modes. Aventador's main feature is scissor doors. There is also a carbon fiber door panel, a digital dashboard with center display, carbon fiber seats and 4 driving modes. At Porsche, a catchy feature is the clock in the center of the cabin. The rest are 2 digital dashboards with central display, 1 cup holder and 5 drive modes. I don't know which interior and function of these cars is cooler, so we don't count the points. Write in the comments which interior you like best. Continuing the theme of the interior, let's compare the number of seats. The SF90 has 2 seats, the Lamborghini also has 2, but the Porsche has 4. Those rear seats may not be that comfortable to sit in, but at least they are there, which means you can ride more people in your Turbo S 992. Let's open the trunks and compare the capacity. The SF90 has a 19.5-gallon trunk. There you can put 2 tennis rackets and a sports bag. The SVJ has 37 gallons of luggage space and can hold a golf bag and 2 lunch boxes. Porsche's trunk is not much smaller, 34 gallons, and can accommodate an inflatable boat. As you can see, the Aventador is much suitable for long-distance travel here, although it is unlikely that you will go on long trips with a lot of luggage on it. Let's move on to the last comparison of these cars. How safe are they? The Ferrari SF90 unfortunately doesn't have an official safety rating, but as for the Aventador, it has a rating of 3.5, which is probably not the best. As you can see, Porsche turned out to be the safest among this trio of supercars. What did we end up with? Ferrari SF90 Stradale has 175 points, Lamborghini Aventador SVJ has 170 points, and Porsche 911 Turbo S 992 has 190 points. Porsche won this comparison and is more reasonable to buy. Write in the comments which of these cars do you think is better and which one would you choose.